Okay, had to make sure we were recording. Um, so I'm going to talk about old rigs for just a minute because I had an experience today. I had a friend coming over and he was helping me move some rocks and um, I got an old truck. I like it. I bought it $1,200 on Craigslist and it didn't have a bumper, so I kind of put part of a bumper on and left a spot for a winch, and I put some different tires on it and different rims, and um, I fixed some wiring on it. And what the main thing about the old rigs is what I'm talking about is they have character and they have dents and they have um, like really they're like pretty strong rigs. But so one of my friends today, he he thought I was gonna get mad because I don't even know where it was. I think right in here. He was helping me build these rock walls, and so we had to carry rocks from one place to the other place to build, little rock walls. And he was throwing the rocks into the truck, and at first when he was the one that started loading the truck, and he I guess I can be on video. Um, he was the one that started loading the truck, and he was like being really careful. He was like like gently setting the rocks in the bed of the truck. And then I came over and I was like, I took a big old rock like the size of like a bowling ball or whatever, and I threw it in the truck, and it's clank, 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 and he's like, "Holy shit, you're all right with like doing that to your truck?" I said, "You see this old girl?" I said, "She's hauled probably 1,000,000 pounds or better in her life, and it hasn't been by being real gentle to her. You don't have to be real gentle to the old trucks and the old the way stuff was built when it lasted." And I mean, this truck it's older than me, and I'm getting up there. So, um, anyway, I mean, this old truck, it starts every time. Well, it hasn't not started for me except when the battery was dead one time. But I think that was my fault. I think I left the headlights on. It doesn't have like a little ding, 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 lets you know your headlights are on. It just it's a very it's a more dominant reminder when you have a dead battery, right? So anyway, I just wanted to kind of say that we shouldn't always be looking for the newer and better things, because they aren't getting newer, or well, they're getting newer and they're getting more expensive, but they're not getting better. Maybe they have more features to them, but they're not more durable, they're not more dependable, they're not more efficient, they're not more um, usable. And I mean, that's what these things are that we're buying. They're tools, and they should be usable. And I guess the basis of the story is uh, he was afraid that I was going to get mad because when he threw a rock, and I mean, oh my gosh, it hit the side of my truck. But that's the same kind of thing when you go to a parking lot somewhere. If I run this over to the grocery store. Good thing they got a producing section, right? If I run it over to the grocery store and I park in the parking lot and I come walking back out and I come up on my truck and a little old lady, boy, she's got her big old Cadillac or whatever she got, and she swings that door open and it beats right in the side of my truck. I've seen people yell and get mad at other folks when for something like that. And I mean, I can understand. I mean, when you got a lot of money into something, it's it's hard not to get mad if your investment is getting damaged. I mean, I used to have a nice new, well, it wasn't a new one, new to me, Excursion, and a friend of mine spilled his soda in it. And I this was years ago, but I mean, I got kind of mad. I was like, God damn it, I told you not to have that shit in here. Because it was really nice, and it was really clean, and it was, leather interior, and it was all these things that don't make for a dependable, usable vehicle. And, well, we're not really friends anymore, but it wasn't because of that. Um, but I mean, if I made him feel bad by me getting mad, that's a shitty way to be. So Anyway, that old truck, it cost me $1,200. I probably have less than $2,000 into it, and that's even including the oil and the repairs I've made. And oh, and check this out. It's I'm gonna go into just part of it, but it's a collector vehicle. And when you have a collector vehicle, that means that it's over 30 years old, and it also means that I don't pay for registration. I paid one time. I paid like $64 to register it, and you're not supposed to be driving it back and forth to work or be using it in a business, and I don't conduct business anymore, and I surely don't want a job. Those are something that I look at everything as an acronym almost, especially the three-letter stuff that everybody uses. Job, J-O-B, just over broke, because that's the way the employers like to keep you. And they say, oh my God, if you have a 1970 Ford pickup, I'm not going to hire you because you probably won't be able to make it reliably to work on time. And you know what? You're right. You're right, because I'm not a good slave. So I'm not a good slave. I prefer to keep the product of my labor to me. And if I want to help out somebody else, then I choose to do that. So I think there's a lot of choices that we can be making in the world that we live in today. And if we work a little bit more towards efficiency and just what makes sense, I think we're gonna like the experience that we're building. So with everything, every purchase, everything you do in life, ask yourself, why are you doing it this way? Is it because everybody else is? And if it's working for everybody else, it's giving them a happy life, a way of being that they're pleasant, and they make friends everywhere they're going, and they're enjoying their life, then I would follow that too. But when I go into the city, I see a lot of people who aren't very happy. They're driving new cars. They're driving way newer rigs than me. Shit, some of them are even driving like 2019s already, And but when I cruise this old truck, and this old truck has like a lifetime warranty on a lot of parts already. Like the water pump has got a lifetime warranty on it, and the alternator, and the starter, and a couple other little things that I had to replace. But I bought the lifetime warranty from the what is AutoZone or O'Reilly's. Both of them I think have it. And so if that part ever goes out again, I can just take it back into them. They give me a new part for free, and then I put it back in. And a lot of the stuff is really easy to work on. Like I had a drive shaft repair to do and a starter, and I used one wrench for all of it. I was like, I'm like, how the hell? Why do mechanics have to have all of these tools? These like $10,000 tool chests. Well, that's because they got to work on the new cars. But with the old trucks, you could just have like 4 or 5 basic tools, and you could pretty much take apart the whole truck. You just take it all apart and put it all back together. And yeah, you can't do that anymore, with the new stuff. And mechanics, they're expensive as hell. The shops are charging $120 to $180 an hour for like regular Fords and Chevys and stuff. Fucking, what is it? This Bugatti. I saw a thing on the YouTube that the Bugatti costs $21,000 to change the oil. I guess if you're spending $2 million on a car, $21,000 isn't much. So anyway, buy new. If you want to live your life working to pay to exist. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, we still got a little bit of battery left. I got a canoe sitting there, and I used to have a jet boat sitting there, but it was You know, big 20-foot jet boat, V8 powers, 70 gallons of fuel I can carry on board. I mean, I can take this shit in the ocean, you know. And I got to use it a couple times a year because I was a plumbing contractor and I worked a lot. And a couple times I went out to use it and I'd been planning and something didn't work right. And the other times I'd have to pay $150 to have tabs so that way I could run it on the water that exists on the land, you know. And then it's not just tabs on the it's not just tabs on the trailer you gotta buy, or tabs on the boat you gotta buy. Then you gotta buy tabs on the trailer that hauls the boat to the water. And I was like, well, God, this is getting to be an expensive endeavor. And so, and plus, every time I'd run that motor, I mean, it was fast. I mean, but I'd be blasting up the river or across the lake, and you know, ducks would be flying away. Everybody's like, "Who the fuck's that? What's going on here?" And well, this canoe that I bought, now I've been able to just be within feet of like herons and beavers and tons of frogs. I mean, there was like some lilies and stuff floating on there. I was just cruising through there, and the frogs were all jumping off the sides and stuff. It was a way cooler experience, and it doesn't cost me anything. I can just carry it right to the water. I can put it on pretty much any of my vehicles, and yeah, no tabs required, no registration required. It doesn't cost me any money in fuel anymore, and there's very little maintenance. I haven't had to do any maintenance to it, and I have more fun with that than I did with the jet boat. But I mean, you know, everybody else had a jet boat, so I had to have a jet boat, of course. You know, that's the way it works. So anyway, just make some conscious choices with what we do in our lives, with our time, with our energy, with our money. You know, we're there's a lot of people that aren't enjoying this experience like they should. So I think with different choices, we're going to see different results. What do you think?